Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Jihan Faidi Bemuneb Darubi, number metric A205153. Today I'm going to tell you the story of Abandoned by Guy de Maupassant. Without further ado, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the deceptive world of the 19th century French aristocracy. Meet Madame de Cadeau. For 40 years, her marriage has been a picture of high society perfection. But standing right beside her is Monsieur d'Apreval. He is not just a loyal family friend, but her secret lover from 40 years ago. They share a ghost, a baby boy, born in absolute secrecy and abandoned to the countryside the very day he was born to protect their upperclassman reputation. For 40 years, they have worn this polite and empty mask until today. The coastal town of Fécamp, France. It is the absolute hottest day of the summer. The air is thick, dusty, and completely still. A long, blindingly white country road stretched endlessly up a brutal hill. There is no shade nor relief, only the piercing, continuous chirp of grasshopper in the dry wheat. It is an environmental oven, baking a 40-year-old secret until it cracked wide open. I really think you must be mad, my dear, to go for a country walk in such a weather as this. Go with the Preval if you want to gratify your whims. As for me, I am going back to the hotel to have a nap. Go and get a sunstroke. The husband left. The moment they are isolated on the burning road, Madame de Cadeau grabbed the Preval arm and squeezed it with a terrifying strength. At last, Henry, at last. The Preval, looking around in panic, whispering angrily, "You are mad. Think of the risk you are running. If that man gets anything, he will have us both in his power. You have survived 40 years without seeing him. What is the matter with you today?" Madame de Cadeau, sobbing desperately, "Do not call him that man. When you are speaking of our son, I have thought about him every single day. I was a coward, Henry. I fear what would the world say about me. Oh, how those poor abandoned children must hate their mothers." They trudged up the endless scorching hill. They turned down a narrow lane hidden beneath gloomy trees and stepped into a messy courtyard. A lone spruce tree stands near the gate. Chicken scratched in the dirt and a large black dog barked fiercely from the shadow. Madame de Cadeau trembled as she finally standing outside her son's house. The stable door fly open and the climax arrived. For 40 years, she pictured a sweet, beautiful baby, but the reality stepped into the mud. Pierre Benedict, the son, appeared, and he spit on the ground, face covered in sweat, and he is furiously yelling at the cow. "Confound it! What a brute!" He brushes right past them, his dirty, coarse clothing scraped against the fine silk of her expensive dress. He doesn't look at her. He doesn't recognize her. He treats his own mother like an annoying tourist blocking his path before disappearing into the pitch black hole of the cow house. Her son is a total stranger to her. Madame de Cadeau, clutching the Apreval arm, nearly fainting. "Let us go. Oh God, let us go, Henry." They leave 5 francs on a chair and flee the farm like a thief. Walking back down the dusty road, her fantasy is completely destroyed. She turned to her old lover and her face twisted in pure agony. Oh, oh, is that what you have made of him? Monsieur de Apreval, turning pale, snapping back coldly. I did what I could. His farm is worth 1,000 more francs. That is more than most sons of the middle class ever get. What else did you expect? Back at the hotel, the husband laughing heartily. So my wife had a sunstroke and I'm glad of it. Well, I hope you two at least had a pleasant walk. Monsieur de Apreval smiling charmingly while slying smoothly. A delightful walk indeed, I assure you, perfectly delightful. The curtain falls, leaving us with the permanent moral value of the story. We cannot sacrifice our deepest moral responsibility for the sake of social vanity and expect to escape unscarred. Madame de Cadeau and Monsieur d'Apreval chose public reputation over their own child. They thought that hiding from their truth and throwing money at their guilt would save them. But life does not allow us to substitute love with currency. When you abandon your responsibility to protect a fake life, you ultimately abandon your own humanity, doomed to spend the rest of your days wearing a beautiful mask over a completely shattered heart. That's all from me. Thank you very much.